That's what that one is.
This
short one is just
yeah,
issued.
that's what we're issuing now.
Yep.
All right, so before we get too far past wands, any questions? Okay, we try to have extra batteries too. If you know you're going to be, if we know that you might be on an extended traffic detail, we'll make sure we have spare batteries around. Okay, we talked about this, clear, concise, loud, flashlights, alarms, cones, barricades to protect you and provide static. Excuse me. For our planned events, Public Works will position the barriers we need. Type 2, I believe, is the sawhorse kind. Type 3 is the gate. That's what we usually use. We will have our own cones sometimes. We certainly use police officer cones and public work cones if it's planned. If it's a road closure for a gas or power line, Public Works will come and have that stuff there. Usually it'll be set up. Sometimes for the parades, we're kind of expected to set that up. If you are working a parade detail and you come to an intersection that's your assignment and the barricades aren't in place, expect that you will be doing it. You know, it's a good time to call for a direction, but somebody's got to do it, and you're right there. Tim?
Once in a while we get unexpected calls where we have to dispatch out 2 squad cars and utilize cones in one of the squad cars to shut down Route 12 for power lines over down on Route 12. There was another incident we got dispatched for a traffic accident that we were able to block it with the squad and put out cones for the other lanes.
So in those kind of situations, if it's kind of more immediate, really police should be setting up the scene. If you have to, we do what we can, but I imagine at that point we kind of coordinated with police and they knew what we were doing. That one on 12.
We released them so they can go do other things.
Right, but they were aware of the setup. For the Route 12 one, I'm kind of surprised because that lasted for a while. I'm surprised they didn't get Type 3s out, but.
No, they.
Well, it's a state road. It's not necessarily the city.
Lake County came up and they took the other half at Old McHenry Road because they were short-handed too.
So yeah, and we will use. Police use, everybody uses vehicles as barricades, but it's kind of a different scenario. Once you start driving for us, we'll cover that with you. And same thing with traffic incident management, how you're setting up scenes. We don't teach too much of that, but I will tell you, we cover it pretty quick. We do that, we talked a lot about that already. All right. If we don't come to it. Part of the UDAs is when I get on an incident where everybody knows when we talk about incidents, an event is something that we plan, an incident is something that just happened and we're responding to. So if we're on an incident, I get there and the police have set it up. Part of my UDA is it right? And it's not that they necessarily did it wrong, but they set it up and had to go do something else. They were hurried. They did best with the information available. They don't know what the traffic has changed like. So when I'm there and I see it's not working quite right, I start bumping the barricade around a little bit. I move the cones. I like the cones nice and evenly spaced, so I'll do my 30 paces. And if there's a diagonal, I like them to be inset the right amount. So I'll spend my busy time kind of cleaning it up, making it good for me. One of the trainings we got from Stan Taylor at Lake County Sheriff's, he did an incident scene for us, and one of the things he talked about is if the first driver can't understand the direction based on how things are set up, it's probably just them. The second one, probably just them. Third one, probably you. So if the scene's not working, everybody's confused, you need to think about how you can help that, how you can remedy that. And a lot of it is calling for help, but sometimes it's simply moving the squad car, moving the barricade, dealing with the situation. Okay. So we talked about this, really. Do I need to talk about this anymore? It's kind of a recap. turn your back, for sure, I didn't talk about that. We good?
Yep.
So, I hate this. But it can happen. But when this happens, you're not gonna be here until everything is stopped. So, and if I started here, I'm gonna stop this guy here. Once he's stopped, where would I go next? This one or this one, either one. So, I stop him, I'd probably go over here. And then stop him. And these guys are both stopped, I'm letting them know they're still stopped, I'm gonna go over here, stop this guy. Now I'm doing, then you're all stopped. And then, about then, somebody should be going. But I may stop everybody to do like we talked about. Now I'm gonna be like a four-way stop. It's gonna be you. Or it might be that this traffic is way busier and it's gonna back up on the main street. So I may hold everybody and just move this lane.
You could run both you could run traffic both ways.
You could, but you shouldn't. You could, but you shouldn't.
Yeah.
And that's because we talked about how do you, I've got traffic going on both sides of me like this.
You're gonna piss somebody off.
I'm trusting the guy with the loud music, who's distracted on his phone, and has been spoken to not hit me. Because I'm not doing anything here except I've got nothing but my vest. So if you have to do that, and you need to be calling for help. If this is through traffic here and it's busy, but if you
have alternate.
You run
Right.
it, every 30 seconds in different, one direction at a time. To
Right.
relieve the,
again, he's talking about me standing here and traffic going like this.
no. If you start stopping the traffic, you stop that traffic, you stop the opposite traffic, the one across traffic,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And the backup, you can let the backup go through for 30 seconds.
With this one,
No,
this one.
no,
Okay, wait, is everybody stopped?
everyone stop.
Exactly. So everybody stopped, now I can say you.
One lane
Then
at
I
a
can
time.
stop him, and then, exactly. What I'm saying is, you don't do this.
No.
You don't, so it's like, I'm not doing this, I'm not. Thank you. Glad we clarified that. So here, they call these flaggers, and we don't really do flagging. This is really great if you can do it, and for events, sometimes we can. Because this allows me to stop any lane as needed, with a lot of communications across, as well as stop pedestrians. So, a similar thing, this guy's gonna stop, well, so he's gonna stop this traffic here. 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 And now everything's stopped. So then we can decide how we're gonna coordinate and make people go. We're good?
In that scenario, you're gonna need one person in charge to communicate
Right,
across
right,
to each
right,
individual.
right. Somebody's gonna be the head yeller.
So for the initial stop, and you're the only guy at the very beginning, you have to initially stop all four directions. Doing it the way you said clockwise lets you be on the curb for each position
Right.
first. But
Thank
if
you.
you go counterclockwise, you have to cross
Thank
traffic
you.
4 times.
Right. And it's similar here. You know, you use common sense. What's the shortest distance for me to get out of the way? The least amount of distance I have to travel to be safe. Okay. This we know happens. People want to know what's going on. They want to know how they can get to church. They want to know, I did one early in my career with CERT, and it was a Spanish-speaking lady who had to pick up a kid from the dance class, and it was like at 12 in Barrington Road, and it was the only way she knew how to get there. And I didn't know enough Spanish to help her, and she knew less English than I knew Spanish. So I couldn't do much more than kind of point her in the general direction that would get her back into town, get her headed toward Bonner Road. And she wasn't happy. I don't think I really didn't understand but I'm pretty sure she wasn't happy. So when we talk about that, we want you to know. That's part of why we send the briefing out. We want you to know where you're gonna be, and then you should try to familiarize yourself a little bit with the area. If you're running a scene and folks want to, or you get a lot of questions and you can't answer them, don't be afraid to radio in and say, I need directions to this. There's a softball game, I've got a lot of cars going there. What's the best way for them to get there? Get some help.
You should have the person pull over
Right.
out of
Right.
traffic, we'll get somebody to give you directions.
Right, and that'll happen especially if it's a busy intersection, a busy roadway, and people are, it's a tough intersection to begin with. Trying to develop kind of an information lane, and unfortunately, sometimes that will force you to cross traffic because you're gonna tell them to pull over here. But if you can pull them to your side where you're working, give them the direction and then stop traffic for them to get where they need to be. And sometimes you can't help them. I will also tell you,
A lot of times.
the clear and respectful, all that is, I always start with the, hey, good morning, where do you need to get to? And that's a pretty good way to go. A lot of times they'll start with, well, what's happening, what's going on? It's if I've got the time. If I don't have the time, no, this way, no. If they're insistent, I've got to get through there. Situation might be is if my house is right there, I can see it. You're sure that one there? Yeah, okay. What's your address? So, okay, you can see your driver's license. Now, that's if you doubt it. If it seems sincere, let them go. I mean, really, in Wakanda, you probably can let them go. I've had cases where it was an Amazon driver that had to get like, I don't know, 50 yards in, and I said, can you just run the package down there? Oh, yeah. And he does it all the time anyway. So you can sometimes accommodate, but if it's reasonable. When we did the ice storm thing, we had somebody who was one of the farms down there. We looked at the maps, we tried to determine where the line was, we felt it was okay to let him go through. But it took a little while, and it was weird because there'd been a shift change, so nobody in PD knew where the power line was down. Truth be known, Con Ed came in and they didn't know where else.
They just drive until they see line.
Pretty much. That's why he wanted to know, because he didn't want to have to drive down there in the dark and risk getting it. Anyway, clear, respectful communication. If they won't take no for an answer, hold on just a minute. Let me radio in and see if I can help you out. And go away where they can't hear and tell them, yeah, okay, really sorry, there's no way we can do it. Just check with the police and we can.
I had one Memorial Day parade. The owner for Lindy's came up to me. I was at Slocum in Maine. We got delivery coming in with the semi at 10 o'clock when the parade was about to start. It's like, nope, I came through.
And you thought. That's what you thought. Yeah. Some of those things are just immovable. It's not going to happen. And the business owners know this. This isn't, the 27th of May is not going to be the first parade that we've had this content. So those things will happen. I'm also kind of, I'm bad because I will tell an innocent lie every now and then. Well, first I'll tell the truth, and I'll say there's this going on down there, there's no way you can get through. Yeah, but let me call him, see if I can help you out. Yeah, I've got a lady needs to go through. Okay, yeah. Okay, all right, sure, okay. I'm sorry, man, there's just no way. I didn't call anybody. Because I knew the answer. Braxton.
One of those truck things happened once, and we could not let them through, obviously, and the truck driver called Lindy's or whoever it was. They just got 7 of their staff to start shoving two-wheelers and unloaded the truck from the other side of the street.
Yep. Yeah, so if we say no way, they can find a way. All right, any more on this? And really, it has to start with you being really respectful. When we talked about doing the evacuation 3 hours in the rain and cold and wet, it's a little bit harder for me to say, hey, I know everybody's anxious to get out of town here, but I can't let you through here, so you need to go on. And instead of just get, but it will go better if I can be nice.
Can you put down the road driver that gets through?
Yeah, sure. And that will sometimes happen if they get through and it's just, you didn't even get a chance to stop them. Radio ahead, call ahead, let them know that they're coming. give a description, say this vehicle's coming, at a high rate of speed. If you try to stop them and they're insistent, well, you're not a cop, you can't stop me. Well, hang on a minute. I'm gonna call ahead because there is a police officer at the next intersection and he can probably help you better. And then I would get on the radio and do it. I've had people who have called and complained to the police, and it's pretty hilarious because when the officer picks up the phone and says, what's your problem? And they'll explain, right, what's wrong? That's the way it's supposed to go. It gets easier with practice, but I want to reiterate, don't ever get too comfortable. That's where you walk out in front of a truck. Tom, were you going to say something? Or?
No.
Okay. Be assertive, we've talked a lot about that. That comes with practice, but there are going to be times when you and a buddy or just you, and you're either going to handle it or you're going to call for help. But how it happens and how well it's handled is up to you. Don't be intimidated. For the most part, people are going to follow your direction. It really is. It's the rare exception where they'll give you a hard time. There is a crowd mentality that comes with some of this. So the folks who are lined up waiting for the triathlon really don't understand why bikes should hold up traffic on 176. Frankly, I'm a little confused by that sometimes, but they do. It's a planned event. They've got to wait. If they're going to be late for the job, sorry, you're going to be late for your job. Is there another way around? No, not really.
Sure.
Church is a big one, yeah.
You gotta
Church people get very upset.
Right, no excuse.
So again, they need direction, give it to them. If you're not going to give them direction, get out of the way. Be clear, be concise. Don't be hesitant. Don't be indecisive. Identify all that. And do remember that you're representing us. We've got a great reputation here. We depend on you to maintain it. That's about it. I was going to do some stuff on crowd control, but we kind of talked through some of those scenarios. And our crowd control is a little easier. It's more managing pedestrians. So, what questions do you have? What you need to know to increase your confidence, awareness? Allie, what you got? Anything?
If you're directing traffic in an intersection and you're letting one row go, where do you want to hold from your side? Do you want to hold the other people from like behind you if you're doing it sideways? Does it really not matter?
I'd really rather, so if I've got 2 lanes, just traffic, one coming here and traffic behind me like this, is that how we're talking about? I'm gonna hold.
Or if you're in like an intersection.
Okay. So we kind of walked through that I'm trying to do it clockwise, so I'm going to stop the one that I can here, and then try the next one here, keep moving. And once I get everybody stopped, and I feel good about it, I'm going to be watching as much as I can. So like you're still holding and bring them like this. But I want me to be safe. I'm out of the traffic that I'm directing. I'm closest to the person who most likely is going to pay attention because I'm right there. And I know, hey, I need you to stop. He's it's going to be the manslaughter. So I've got him. The others may decide to go, but I'm safe. And my direction has been pretty clear that you should stop and you should stop and you're going to go. It's without having the cars right here. I know it's hard to represent, but the idea is that you figure out who's going to go, and then you cautiously stop everybody else, all of them if you have to, and then let the one go. And we were talking a little bit. Tim was talking about that. If you have to be in a position where you meter, you're going to set 3 cars. 1, 2, 3. Stop there. 3, 1, 2, 3. Stop here. 1. So you're stopping 3 each time and letting a certain number go. Knowing how many you're going through is important because people are going to watch. And they're going to think that, hey, I'm never going to return because she let 5 cars go. So a reasonable amount. There will be times when you have to instead stop one person to let 30 go for the good of mankind. And then you just do it. And then usually when you do that, you've got somebody down there who's helping. You can yell, hey, Michael and I did this at the fireworks. You yell and say, you hold them down there. And stop them further down. You get this 1 or 2 out, and then go back to this. And a lot of times when you do that, that's where the turnaround, my hand signal there is like,
Number 1, don't wear black gloves.
thank Thank you.
They disappear. Number two, you can get these everywhere for $5, gloves that are that fluorescent yellow on the back side of your hand, different from the other side, which are very visible. Three, I saw somewhere, and I can't remember where, they're fluorescent green on the back of your hand,
Mhm.
or fluorescent orange on the palm.
Oh, I haven't seen that, huh?
So I've seen those, I can't remember where, but I'm gonna get them as soon as I find them.
That sounds like a Menards
So
thing.
stop.
No, it's,
No,
there's a glove company that now makes